What's up, guys? It's your boy Damnboy, back with another video. Today we are gonna look at some items that I would recommend you start farming now for TBC. These items will make your life easier once we get into TBC, and some of the items will actually be used in the entire expansion as well. We're gonna look at some tanking items first, and then some DPS items. As we all know, it is super hard to get into groups if you are a DPS. Being a tank, when you're farming your rep, your badge of justice, etc. for pre-raid bis, it is so much easier to be the tank. You'll get your groups going instantly and you can just farm that gear like mad. Anyway, before we dive into it, a sub, a like and a comment down below would be greatly appreciated, and I hope you enjoy. The first item we're going to talk about is of course Thunderfury. As we all know, it's mentioned in a lot of videos, but I just wanted to mention it just real quick. Thunderfury is still great as a warrior for AoE tanking. As per patch 2.0.10, the threat generated from the proc has been substantially reduced. The threat generation from the proc of Thunderfury was previously equivalent to that of approximately one application of Thunder from level 60 warrior. And coming with this patch, the ability Improved Thunderclap now offers the same 20% slow, and it overrides the Thunderfury debuff. But the reason why it's still good for AoE tanking is because of secondary nature resistance reduction debuff, which is applied to the targets, which counts for approximately half an application of Thunder armor from a level 60 warrior. So if you're going to be tanking on your warrior, having Thunderfury will help you immensely on AoE tanking. Personally, I tried tanking on my private server warrior last summer, and it was pretty stressful at times, so I'm sure Thunderfury will help you here and make it less stressful when you are AoE tanking dungeons, etc. Anyway, moving on. The next thing we're going to talk about is, of course, Tier 3. I've mentioned this before, that if you can grasp on Tier 3 for a DPS warrior right now, that would definitely be a good way to do it. I'm personally going to try and start doing that myself, but in TBC you will need 490 defense to have critical hit immunity against raid bosses. By getting full Tier 3 and CG enchants, plus one pre-raid bis item, Adamantine Figurine, you're actually at 476 defense. So we are only lagging 14 defense with this gear set I made here to tank raid bosses in TBC and be crit immune. On top of that, hit rating wise, we have almost 4% hit, and you need 9% hit to hit with your yellow attacks. And because of the Tier 3 set bonus giving you 5% chance to hit with Taunt and Challenging Shout, 5% chance to hit with Thunder, Armor, Devastate, Heroic Strike, Revenge, and Shield Slam, you are actually hit capped as well when you get Sure-Footed, a enchant on boots that gives you 10 more hit rating. So all in all, getting full Tier 3 and some nice other tanking items can definitely be recommended. You can more or less almost jump straight into raids and tank them. And Heroics is gonna be a breeze because you won't be crit either. With TBC, ratings are introduced, and as you can see, the classic item of Stylene's Impeding Scarab increase your chance to block attacks with a shield by 5%, increase the block value of your shield by 24, and increase your defense by 13. But as you can see on the right side, the TBC version now increases your block rating by 24, still block value of your shield by 24, but defense rating by 20. So there is gonna be some changes as how the items look in Classic right now, and TBC of course. Anyway, the point of showing this item is it is actually a really strong trinket. The pre-raid bis one is the Adamantine Figurine, which increases defense rating by 32 and increases armor on use by a certain amount for 20 seconds. I would definitely recommend you grab Stylene's Impeding Scarab just to get this extra defense. It's an easy item to get. Stylene's Impeding Scarab shouldn't be hard to get it in your guild or in a gold bit or anything like that. And it will save you time once you get to 70 and you don't have to farm extra items to get that defense rating. The next item we're going to talk about is Glyph of Deflection. This has a 20% drop chance from Safarian in Nexramas. In Classic, it increases your chance to block attacks with shield by 3%, the block value of your shield by 23, and increase the block value of your shield by 235 for 20 seconds with a 2-minute cooldown. In TBC, it still gives you 12 block rating, 23 block value, and it gives you the same on-use effect. In TBC, the pre-raid bis item slash Trinket is Numerican auto blocker 600. Increase the block value of your shield by 59 and increases the block value of your shield by 200 for 20 seconds on use. A thing to note about a very important aspect of the pre-raid BIS one is that it costs 41 badges of justice. You obtain badge of justice by killing a 5-man dungeon heroic boss, and you get around 3 to 4 per dungeon depending on how many bosses of course there is in the dungeon. So by getting Glyph of Deflection you can basically skip doing 10 heroics for the Numerican auto blocker. Anyway, moving on. The next item is a trinket as well. Good old life-giving gem. It is both a tanking and a PvP trinket. You can even use it as DPS if you're afraid of dying on some fights. The classic one, as we all know, heals yourself for 15% of your maximum health and increases your maximum health by 15% for 20 seconds, 5-minute cooldown. The TBC one, it gets changed a little bit and gets worse actually. It increases your maximum health by 1500 for 20 seconds. After the effects wear off, you'll lose the extra maximum health. This is still a decent item for the first phase of TBC. It is not super impressive or anything, but I would still recommend getting it, especially for PvP. And for some tank fights it could be really nice. But from dungeons you can get a similar trinket, Brooch of the Immortal King, increases defense rating by 32 and has an on-use effect that increases your maximum health by 1250 for 15 seconds. So it's 5 seconds less duration and 250 HP less. So life giving gem is still a little bit better, but defense rating I would say probably makes up for it. Moving into the DPS warrior aspect slash PvP, we have Hand of Justice. In PvE and PvP, where most likely most warriors are going to be using 2 hands. They're going to be sword spec. And Hand of Justice adds another 2% chance on melee hit to gain 1 extra attack, which is super nice. The classic version says 2% chance on melee hit to gain 1 extra attack and 20 attack power. The TBC version says chance on melee hit to gain 1 extra attack and increase attack by 20. On a lot of private servers, a lot of people have still been running with Hand of Justice, especially when they're playing 2s with the Resto Shaman, to get even more burst with their sword procs and Wind Fury. The next trinket is one we've loved dearly since phase 5, Badge of the Swarm Guard. Gives a chance on melee or range attack to apply an armor penetration effect on you for 30 seconds, lowering the target's physical armor by 200 to your own attacks. The armor penetration effect can be applied up to 6 times, 3-minute cooldown. In TBC it looks exactly the same as you can see on the right side. If you're planning on playing a DPS warrior, this is a must-have, must-grab, whatever you want to call it. In TBC, the armor values of the bosses are a minimum 5,700 armor to 8,800 armor. Trash is 5,475 armor to 7,400 armor. And the max reduction you get from improved exposed armor, Fury Fire, and Curse of Wreck is 4,485. That means on all bosses you're going to be able to fully utilize the 1,200 armor reduction from Badge of the Swarm Guard. On Trash, you can utilize it to an extent of 1,000 armor reduction, and it's just going to be insane and a must-have for any DPS warrior, or melee for that matter, in TBC. The second last item we are going to talk about is of course Slayer's Crest from Saffron in Nax. 64 attack power on equip, and on use 260 attack power for 20 seconds, 2 minutes cooldown. In TBC it looks exactly the same, nothing has changed. The pre-raid BIS one at level 70 is the Bloodlust Brooch. It gives you 72 attack power and 278 attack power for 20 seconds. So it has a minor upgrade from Slayer's Crest. The flip side here is that the Bloodlust Brooch of course costs 41 badges of justice. Like mentioned earlier, you get badge of justice by killing a 5-man heroic boss, and you need to do around 10 heroics to get 41 badges. The last item is of course Mark of the Champion. Equip gives you 150 attack power when fighting undead and demons. It also allows the question of blah blah blah, and as you can see on the right side, the TBC version is exactly the same. This trinket is insane because this can be used on so many encounters in TBC, and there is no trinket like it. As you could see before, the pre-raid BIS Bloodlust Brooch only gives you 72 attack power static, where Mark of Champion actually gives you more than twice that amount. Of course the Brooch has the on use, but for longer fights Mark of Champion is just gonna win no matter what. The fights that you can use this trinket on is... The bosses you can use this on in Kherson is Tomb of the Horseman, Morose, Shade of Iran, Terestian Ilhoof, Prince Malchesar, and Nightbane. And this is only Kherson. It is also used in Bacterian's Lair on Bacterian, of course. In Mount Hajal, it's Rage Winterchill, Anatherion, Casrogal, Ascalor, and Archimond. Actually, all 5 bosses. In Black Temple, it's Supremus, Terangor Mother Shastra, and Illidan. In Sunwell Plateau, it's Brutalis, Felmist, the Twins, Entropius on Muro, and Kil'jaeden, the final boss of TBC. So this is a must-have trinket, and I strongly recommend you get it. It is very strong for casters as well. Just want to put it out there. Anyway, guys, that was it for this guide. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you could use it. Thanks for watching. As always, a sub, a like, and a comment down below would be greatly appreciated. I do also stream on Twitch. If you're interested in that, come check me out. I will be most likely doing the leveling race as well, of course. Thanks for watching, and have a damn great day.